Children, next we are going to learn about bond parameters. A covalent bond, already I taught, covalent bond is formed by sharing of electron pairs between the two atoms. Between two atoms. So, that covalent bond is characterized by some parameters like bond length, bond angle, bond order, resonance, and so on. Now, one by one we can see what is meant by bond length. First parameter, bond length. Bond length means distance between, consider two atoms, atom A and atom B. The distance between the nuclei, between the nuclei of the two covalently bonded atoms, this is called as bond length. Bond length between the two nuclei of the bonded atom is called as a bond length. So this length of the bond can be determined by using spectroscopic studies, X-ray diffraction, electron diffraction techniques. So the bond length depends upon the size of the atom and the number of bonds between the combining atoms. For example, if a bond having single bond, the bond length, single bond, this bond length is, which is longer than the carbon-carbon double bond length is 1.33 Armstrong. Carbon-carbon single bond length is 1.54 Armstrong. Double bond is 1.33 Armstrong. Triple bond is 1.20 Armstrong. So the carbon-carbon single bond length is more when compared to double bond, triple bond. So the bond length depends upon the number of bonds between the atoms as well as the size of the atom. Size of the atom means carbon-carbon single bond is 1.54 Armstrong. Carbon nitrogen, that bond length, single bond only, it is 1.43 Armstrong. So depends upon the size, first number size, then depends upon the number of bonds the bond length is placed. Number 2, bond order. What is bond order? The number of bonds formed between the two bonded atoms in a molecule is called bond order. For example, if you are taking hydrogen molecule, H, only one bond is present because according to Lewis structure, only one pair is shared. So it is called single bond. If you are taking oxygen, they are covalently double bond because only 4 electrons are shared between the both. So it is having a double bond. If you are taking nitrogen, it is a triple bond. So between the two bonded atoms, the number of bonds formed, that is called bond order. Number 3, bond angle. Bond angle means the fixed angle between the two covalent bonds. The angle between the two, for example, see carbon, hydrogen. Hydrogen means this bond. What is the bond length? So that is called bond length. It is usually expressed in degrees, determined by spectroscopic methods only. Fourth one is bond enthalpy. Enthalpy means already heat. So minimum amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a particular bond in their molecules in their gaseous state. The unit of bond enthalpy is kilojoule per mole. Larger the bond enthalpy, stronger will be the bond. So the bond energy value depends upon number 1, size of the atom. Number 2, number of bonds between the two bonded atoms. So Larger the size of the atom, lesser is the bond enthalpy. So in the case of polyatomic molecules, but in the case of polyatomic molecule, there are two or more same bond types. So the average bond enthalpy is used. Average bond enthalpy. What is average bond enthalpy? Now I'll show an example. Take water molecule H2O. See here one OH bond, here one OH bond. There are two OH bonds. Both are same only, both are one OH, the other OH. We can say the energy needed to break both the bonds are same only, but it is not same. Say first water molecule on breaking, first this bond break forming H plus OH. This bond break, we are getting H and OH. For this, the enthalpy change value is 502 kilojoule per mole. Next, this OH, this bond breaks. So OH giving H plus O. This bond changes delta H2 is equal to 427 kilojoule per mole. So for this one we have to take the arithmetic mean average 502 plus 427 by 2, that is given as 464.5 kilojoule per mole. So for polyatomic molecules we have to find the arithmetic mean. So for many examples given in a book, the bond length, the bond enthalpy, bond type, it is given in page 77.